Good morning, everyone. This is Paul with Trading Market Technicals, and I want to create this short little video and show you how to change the parameters of the strategy. Because after each month, we're going to be sending you a video update of the strategies and also an email. And if we recommend making changes to the parameters, you'll know how to do it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go to your control center, and you can see that I have the Beast and the Viper system turned on these indexes right here. So the first thing you need to do is disable one of the indexes. In this case, I'm going to do the NQ. And you can see how the moving average disappeared. It's no longer green, telling you that it's not looking for trades any longer. So it's free for you to go and edit the strategy. So you want to right click onto this and hit edit strategy, and you're going to come up with this edit box. The first thing you want to do is scroll to the top. Take your slide bar, move up to the top to expose the top line. When you get to the top line, you should see trend line properties. For trading index futures, you want to set it to 13. This number here, this moving average, will set the parameters for the proprietary indicators built into the system. The next thing you want to do is look at the profit targets, when to take profits, and this depends if price action is trading inside the previous day's range or outside the previous day's range. So if price action ends up being inside the previous day's range, you want to set the profit target for your first exit at 10. What this does is it will take off the first order and lock in profits at 10 ticks. This will now make it a free trade for you and take the stress off of you. We built in psychology parameters to take the stress off the trader so you can trade a full day and not become emotional. The next thing would be profit target number 2. Profit target number 2 is set at 20 ticks if it's an inside day. Then the third, if you end up trading 3 contracts, would be a trailer. So we only are worried about profit target 1 and profit target 2. Profit target 1, again, makes it a free trade. Profit target 2 locks in some profits. The stop loss offset. If it's an inside day, you want to set your stop tighter because you'll tend to have chop during an inside day. So we want to have proper money management rules applied. And so we set the stop loss offset for indexes, future indexes, to 2. Now, if we happen to have an outside day, now you can give a little bit more room to your first and second target. So your first target will be set to 12 ticks, and your second target will be set to 25 ticks. Now, since we have an outside day, you can give a little bit more room with your initial stop. So the stop loss offset will be 4. Now, sometimes you may have gaps on the open, especially if you're trading or using the Beast system for stocks. And if you do have a gap, then your entry offset would be set to 1, meaning price needs to be greater by 1 penny if you're trading stocks from the entry. The next section we're going to talk about is order inputs. This is an important section because it has to deal with your account size and money management. If your account size is large enough, then what you can do is enter into your trade with 3 different orders. That's what trade quantity 1, trade quantity 2, and trade quantity 3 stand for. So it's basically the first trade, second trade, and third trade. Over here, you will set the amount of contracts you want to purchase. If your account size is small, then we do not recommend going in and putting or buying 3 contracts. It is still smart to manage your money accordingly and enter the positions dependent on your account size. So this example, we have 1 contract to be filled in trade 1 and 1 contract to be filled in trade 2. If I put a number in here, then we would be buying that certain amount of contracts for trade number 3. Trade number 1 is set to target 1. So this is our trade that will pay for our commissions and make it a free trade and stress-free trade. Quantity number 2 will be set at the second parameter. And then quantity number 3 will be our runner. So if you have a small account, then you can play around with these numbers. You can put 1 in quantity 1, and you can put 1 in quantity 3 and skip the second trade. So I'm going to do that as an example. So I just go 0 that out and then put 1 in here. So now what's going to happen is it's going to buy 1 contract at a target either of 10 or 12, depending if it's an inside range or outside range. And then our final contract is going to be a runner. If your account size is large enough, then you can do all 3 trades, and then you'll have one that gets stopped out or take profit at 10 or 12. And then you'll have another one that will take profits either at 20 or 25, and then you'll have a runner. Trade start time is dependent on where you live. I'm in Mountain Time Zone, so I start trading at 7:40 and end the trading at 1400 hours. Now, why 7:40? Well, we want to give a 10-minute buffer so all of the pre-market orders can be balanced by the market maker. So we don't want to start looking for trades until we have balance in the markets. Exit before close. When you set this to true, that means that if you have an open order, it will be closed out at 1400 hours. If you're trading stocks, you may want to change this number to, let's say, 1350, 10 minutes before the market closes. Since we're trading futures, the future market closes quarter after 4 in New York time, so we can set this to 1400 hours Mountain Time. So that's what exit before close stands for. Cancel after 2 bars has to deal with internals of the strategy, and we recommend having it set to 2 for index trading. Don't trade the next bar. Again, it's built in for the strategy. We recommend having it set to false for index trading. Outside channel properties, entry offset would be 1, and this EMA that's set up above here, this 13, you want to have this for index trading, you want to set it to false. So don't use EMA above or below, set to false. This is the color of the EMA. You can change the color to whatever you desire, and the width and the style. And down here, you want to make sure that your session template is set to default 24/5. And then calculate on bar close, make sure it's set to true. You should have the TMT Beast trading system loaded into the label. And then down here, sync account position is true. So what you want to do, depending on what you're going to be trading, go back to your manual that we provided, and you will have the specifics for the strategy that or the index that you'll be trading. Or let's say you want to trade crude, there's certain parameters for that. If you want to trade stocks, there's certain parameters for that. If you want to trade, let's say, the Australian dollar or the euro dollar future pair, there's specific parameters for that. So make sure that you go in, match the parameters, but now you have an understanding of what these different properties mean. So again, what's important is you want your trend line property to be set to 13 if you're trading indexes. For in range, your first target set to 10, your second target set to 20, if your account size allows you to do that. And for outside range, set to 12. Second target will be set to 25. Your stop loss will be set to 4. Your trade quantity, again, if you put any number in here, that's how many contracts you'll be purchasing, and you'll be taken out of the trade at whatever value you have set in here, depending if it's an inside range or outside range. Trade quantity 2, depending on how many contracts you have set in here, you'll be getting out of the trade either at profit target 2 for an inside range or profit target 2 for an outside range. And trade quantity 3 is your runner. Here's the time. Exit before close, true, so it gets out of your open trades at the close of the market. And cancel after X bars, keep it at 2. Don't trade next bar, keep it at false. I hope that helps, and if you have any questions, please let me know. But now that you've set this up the way you want to, hit OK. And then to enable the system so it can start looking for trades, just go back to your enable box, click it on. It'll warn you that it'll be generating orders without your confirmation. You hit OK. Now you see the moving average pop back on the screen. It turned green, so now it's looking for trades. Okay, if you have any questions, please contact us at support@tradingmarkettechnicals.com, and have a great day. Thank you.